Hi there, it's Sarah. So I'm really excited to be able to share my 2016 Project Life album with you today. This is a look at my January through June pages, and I'm going to admit I'm not doing so well with my July through September pages right now. I'm kind of behind, but I really wanted to kind of complete these first 6 months since I knew I wasn't going to be able to fit any more pages in this album, and I just thought I would kind of close the books on this one, and so I wanted to kind of finish it up before I stuck it on my shelf. And so yeah, I went through and kind of filled in the gaps, and I think I've included everything that I would like to include for these 6 months. So I'm just going to do kind of a quick flip through, and I'm not going to go too much in detail about each of the pages because I've shared a lot on my blog already, but I will kind of talk about some of the stuff and just kind of do an overall sort of flip through so you can see how this album kind of came together. So I went with 6 by 12, was completely inspired by Kelly Purkey's album last year, as I'm sure, a lot of people that went 6 by 12 this year were. But I stuck with 6 by 8 last year, even though I was really excited to go into 6 by 12. And then I just totally jumped into this format this year, and I'm loving it. I feel like it's definitely enough space for me to be able to fit all of my pictures and my journaling for the week, but it's not overwhelming like a 12 by 12 would be, or even a 9 by 12. So it's been a lot of fun to work in this format. And I feel like I can find a lot of balance amongst my pictures and the journaling cards, and I don't know, from a design standpoint, I feel like it's a lot easier to balance everything. So one thing that I decided to do this year is separate my months by using a little calendar card. These calendar cards are from Paisley Press, and they're so cute. I love the design on them. And I thought maybe I was going to do some goals for the year, so maybe thinking of the goals for the month and then recapping them at the end of the month, something like that. But I hadn't completely fleshed out my plan before I started this, so I didn't actually do that. And I just ended up putting in my calendar cards and then kind of using it as sort of like a design pocket or a design tab in here. What I'm doing for the rest of the year, I started this in August. I'm putting together these journaling cards as kind of just an overview of the month. So I'm putting it together at the end of the month. So for August, I would do it like the beginning of September or towards the end of August, and just talking about some of the things that went on with our house, any updates we were doing, currents, where we went, and then kind of a highlight of the month. And I just thought it would be kind of a good introduction. So if I don't put everything into my album, at least I have the highlights there. I saw Jen Scow recently did an insert, and she put together things that she was grateful for. So I really love that idea too. So many options. I just think there's something that's kind of cool about breaking up the month. I felt like that was lacking in my album from last year, so I just wanted to do that for this year. Lots of pink. I love pink in my album. One thing that I also did more of this year is including my Ali Edwards story kits into my Project Life album. And I find that it's a lot easier for me to journal when I'm using the story kit. And if you do purchase the story kit, you actually get access to the classroom. So Ali gives great pointers for prompts and just a lot of ideas for things that you can journal about and ways that you can look at different things from the kit. And so I found that I journal a lot more about a particular story when I'm using it in my Project Life album. So that's been a lot of fun. This was from the Stuff Story Kit. And I kind of switched up. I used some digital elements on some of my pages. I like a good mixture of digital scrapbooking and So sort of a hybrid scrapbooking, and then also just things that come in kits or things that I pick up at the store. Yeah, it's just kind of fun to mix it up. This is from the week that we went to Seattle. So I picked up this little bag from a boutique and I inserted a postcard, and then I just taped down the postcard that I felt like the colors kind of matched the colors that were going on in my photos. So I included that there. I love doing these little flip up cards so I can include more photos and include it with my journaling. This was the week that we adopted our puppy Nugget. And I love this Heartbeat at My Feet collection that One Little Bird came out with. It's awesome. If you have a cat or a dog, I would definitely recommend looking into this. I felt like it was a really kind of fun way to put together his adoption story. And then you'll notice from this point forward, I have a lot of photos of Nugget. So he definitely kind of took center stage in my album after we got him, and I'm definitely okay with that. He's super cute and we love him. So yeah, he definitely appears a lot in here. And this was one of the last pages I did. And then for my very last page, my way of closing the album was to screenshot my Instagram. So amazingly, this worked out that I was able to get a screenshot of everything from the very end of December through early July. That probably isn't going to happen again when I'm putting my album together for the last 6 months of the year, but it worked out here, and it's just a great way to kind of see all the projects that I've worked on, because my Instagram is mainly just project based and all of the, papers and all that fun stuff. So it came out very colorful, and I kind of love how that looks as an overview. So that was super fun. And yeah, this is my album, and the album that I used I bought on Amazon. This is a We Are Memory Keepers die cut album, and it's worked out really well. It's pretty durable, and there aren't a lot of options out there for 6x12. I'm hoping that changes next year, but this definitely worked for me, and it's been great. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it gave you some ideas, or at least some inspiration to keep going forward on your albums. And hopefully I will be sharing my July through December pages pretty soon, well, towards the end of the year. And thanks so much for stopping by and watching this video, and I will talk to you soon.